Welcome to the Sports Showcase event on Harford TV. I'm Don Morrison. Tonight, my great pleasure to be at C. Milton Wright High School along with my buddy Pat Pollard. Pat, this ought to be a very interesting game between two teams, Patterson Mill, 6-6, C. Milton Wright 5-5. Little deceiving though, C. Milton Wright is 3-1 in the Hatem division, meaning that they are second place to Falston. They are desperately in need of a win tonight, talking about C. Milton Wright on senior night.
It's senior night for C. Milton Wright, and they need to win to get into the UCBAC playoffs. I pronounced that right? To the UCBAC playoffs. Teams are both 500. C. Milton Wright's probably your slight favorite, just judged by how they've done against opponents. Patterson Mill has struggled a little bit the last couple of games, but they're looking to try to get things right as they go into the state playoffs.
Yeah, beautiful night for any kind of a sporting event, especially for lacrosse here late in the season, late in April. Beautiful field. This field, a turf field, it's a lot different than the fields that we used to play on back in the day, Pat.
No, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. You don't have to worry about the ground balls and the clumps of grass and the mud or the no grass, and all the fields I think in Harford County are turf now, and it makes a huge difference, maybe more so for lacrosse than any other sport.
Patterson Mill in Tidings division, they come in at 6-6. They're 2-2 in their division. Huskies were 7-9 last year, including a 20-7 loss to C. Milton. Pat, the last time they beat C. Milton, right, talking about Patterson Mill, was 2023. So they'd love nothing better to come here on senior night and defeat this team.
Well, it's been a few years. The seniors have never beaten C. Milton Wright.
Yep.
So they're looking for a big win tonight. They'd like to go out. Nothing would make them feel better than knocking C. Milton Wright out of the conference playoffs.
You're watching the Huskies being introduced, coached by Noah Worthington. Record is 6-6 coming in. Their attackman number 1, Rex Reynolds, he's a senior. 20, Nathan Solkowski, a freshman. 10, Tyler Solkowski, a junior. We'll talk more about them in just a moment. Midfielders number 11 is Ronan McCoy, a junior. 13 is Colin Cavendall, he's a junior. 14 is Ryan Plummer, a sophomore. On defense, Jonathan Fletcher. Quinn Shiflett, number 22. Number 29, Seth Wilhelm. And the goalkeeper, Gavin Volker, he is a senior. Pat, I know you know the Solkowski brothers, one a freshman, one a junior. Tell us about them.
Well, I'm pretty anxious to see the Solkowskis. They're leading the team in scoring, 50 goals between them. For Nathan, the freshman, with 31 goals, and Tyler, his older brother, the junior, with 19 goals. These kids are good kids. They work hard. I see them practicing all the time. Nathan actually, for years, has been practicing on a skateboard.
Whoa.
I've never seen that before in any sport, but he plays wall ball while on a skateboard. I thought he was just goofing off at first, and the more I thought about it, hey, you rarely catch a ball on balance or a perfect shot to you, so it really has you focus on your hands and your catching ability. And
that's crazy. I can't even beat on a skateboard without it going out from under me. He plays lacrosse while on a skateboard.
Plays wall ball, on the skateboard. So, but I'm anxious to see. Nathan's jumped onto the high school scene this year with a bang. He's one of the storylines for Patterson Mill. I'm looking for.
You're watching now, Pat, the introduction of the C. Milton Wright Mustangs. Coach Andy LeBrun, and he's in his 4th season. Record 5-5. Again, we say that's deceiving because it was they're 3-1 in their division. Their starting lineup: Sam Levy, he's a senior, number 1. Liam Bender, a junior, number 5, and Cameron Stepp, number 14, also senior. Those are the attackmen. In midfield, Shane Beagle, a senior. Garrett DeBlasi, a senior. And now let's do Honor Our Country with our national anthem. Just to complete that lineup for the C. Milton Wright Mustangs, on defense, Brett Lawrence, he's a senior, number 16. 20 is Braden Sander, a sophomore. 28, Kyle Lesniewski, he is a senior. The goalie is Rocco Rananieri. He is a sophomore. Sophomore goalie, sometimes, you know, inexperienced, Pat, you worry about that, but Rocco has played a solid season.
Yeah, he has had a solid season. A lot of saves, and, you know, he's really not a sophomore at this point.
Yeah.
I said on Patterson Mill, I'm anxious to see the Solkowski brothers. That's a key point for C. Milton Wright to shut those two down. I'm also looking forward to the face-offs. We got two premier face-off guys out there tonight. Colin Cavendell for Patterson Mills, 67% of his face-offs he's won, and Garrett DeBlasi for C. Milton has won 68%. So those are pretty gaudy numbers for face-off guys.
Yeah, that's like 7 out of 10 almost. And as you well know, Pat, you get the face-off, you get a score, and then you get the face-off, you get like back-to-back possessions of the ball.
If you're Patterson Mill on defense, you're looking to stop Sam Levy, number 1, going to McDaniel, 25 goals, 9 assists. And then we're also looking at the big man, Cameron Stepp. Can't miss him, number 14, going to Vanderbilt on a football scholarship.
As you look at these teams, that is in the teal, that would be the visiting Patterson Mill in the white uniforms with the powder blue. They like to call it Carolina blue. No, they call it C. Milton Wright blue. Those are the Mustangs. 13 seniors tonight. Pat, I asked you the question before we went on the air. Senior night, the distraction, is it an advantage for the team, the home team, or not?
I think it's an advantage. These seniors want to go out with a bang. They got their family here. You know, possibly the last time playing on this field for them.
That's the Mustangs going from right to left with the ball. There's the first shot of the game, a little bit wide.
That was Levy.
Yeah, that's Sam Levy, the senior. He's going to McDaniel, as you said, 25 goals, 9 assists, one of the captains. And you were talking about a senior. Boy, what a deal to go out with a win here tonight.
Comes the big man.
Big man.
Just offside.
Cam Stepp. You talk about the big man playing football at Vanderbilt. You know, Vanderbilt used to be a school that was kind of like second tier. Not anymore.
Not anymore. They had the runner-up Heisman winner and the new Ravens free agent quarterback from Vanderbilt now.
Here we go. Mustangs with the ball again. They have been in control. This pass there recovered by Patterson Mill, and then turn it right back over. Here comes Patterson Mill now with their first attempt on the attack. Rex Reynolds, number 1, the senior, with the ball. Also 11, Ronan McCoy, one of the captains. Ronan, a junior on the team. Pat, a junior as a captain, not always something you see.
No, it obviously speaks to his leadership ability.
That's Jim Webb, the first call of the night. Would you see, Pat, what happened there? Looks like the call is going to go against.
Offsides on C. Milton. It'll be a 30-second.
So they'd be playing, what, underman for 30 seconds?
Yeah, it'd be 6-on-5.
Okay.
See if Patterson Mill can take advantage of this.
Just into the game here, 12-minute quarters. Here we go. Patterson Mill in the silver helmets with the teal shirt and the white trim. Just feeling it out, Pat?
Just, you want everybody to get a touch. See how the defense is setting up, see if they're going to overplay you.
Pat, we're talking
little sloppy, though. Ooh.
Talking about ground balls, and how important is a ground ball in lacrosse?
Well, if you talk to some coaches, it's their favorite statistic.
Boy, that was a big clear. Cam Stepp, as you said, the big man. Don't get in his way, Pat.
Boy, who's going to step in front of him?
Not me. Not me. Go ahead, Mr. Cam. I'll watch you. Recovered there by Patterson Mill. Good job scooping the ball up. That's Ryan Plummer, the sophomore. Ryan with a goal and 3 assists, 24 turnovers caused, 57 ground balls for Ryan Plummer, the sophomore.
You know, Stepp reminds me of a guy about 12 or 13 years ago, Greg Pike, played for Boys Latin, the legendary Boys Latin program. About the same size. Pike was 6'5", 300 pounds, went on to start at Georgia for 3 years at offensive guard. And he was a sight to behold on the lacrosse field.
Pat, we go back to the early days of lacrosse, and there was a lot of like bully ball, if you will. Yeah. Now it's come into, it's still a contact sport. Here's a shot coming up a little bit wide, but now it can become a finesse sport. Our good buddy Frank Mazzanotti likes to liken it to basketball. pick and rolls and all those kinds of different formations.
A lot of the movement and motions are the same.
Here's Mr. Step behind. I'm going to call him Mr. Step just in case he sees this.
Oh, he's open.
Here he comes. Look out. And the shot and the goal. Cameron Step scores unassisted at 8:51.
Well, I tell you what, we're kind of, laughing a little bit about his size playing out there, but he showed some good footwork there. I was impressed with that. Nice little spin move.
Yeah.
Beat his man and.
Yeah, you'll be able to see the replay here. Beat his man, and then poor goalie. Give Gavin Volker a lot of sympathy on that one. How would you like to try to face that shot?
Yeah.
So C. Milton Wright scores first. The goal unassisted by Cameron Step. Goal coming at 8:51 of the first period. And now you see the importance of that face-off taken by C. Milton Wright.
Well, we talked at the beginning of the broadcast about that would be an interesting matchup with two guys with big numbers. So far, C. Milton Wright's come out 2-0 on that.
Aaron DeBlasi, the young man, number 3. Ball is loose. Nobody sees the ball. They're now finally picked up by C. Milton Wright. Picked up by Garrett DeBlasi. Mustangs with DeBlasi right down the middle. Great pass, great shot. DeBlasi hits his man. It's a goal. Trying to see the number of that young man who scored the goal, Pat.
Mustang goal, senior number 4, Ben Miller.
Yeah, it's been
Ben Miller from DeBlasi. Nice ground ball for DeBlasi. Takes it down, gives it up for the assist and the goal.
So Ben Miller with the goal from DeBlasi.
Patterson Mill needs to settle down a little. They're sloppy on their clears. They just need to get cleaner here. C. Milton Wright's dominating possession time.
And they have it again. Right down the middle of the field, not being stopped. There's a shot. It's high. Going to stay with C. Milton Wright. Pat, explain, it's the closest man to the ball when it goes out of bounds?
Yes.
Who gets possession. Kind of weird. You can shoot the ball out of bounds. In every other sport, it would be the other team's ball. But if you happen to be closer to the ball when it goes out of bounds, it's your ball.
Well, it makes the game more exciting. You wouldn't shoot very much if you turned the ball over every time you missed a shot.
Pat, another excellent point made by you. That's why they give you the big money.
That's right.
You're getting big money? I didn't know that.
I wasn't supposed to tell you.
Oh, just underway here. C. Milton Wright with that 2-0. So if we were concerned about the Mustangs maybe coming out a little bit nervous on senior night, that hasn't shown itself yet.
Not yet. Coming out with a lot of emotion. I don't know the time of possession, but they've dominated, I can tell you that.
Still with the ball. Great passing. That ball a little bit wide.
That was Levy. Levy, good move. Then threw the ball away, but he had a nice move to the goal.
Sam Levy headed for McDaniel College next year. 13 seniors. This team lost a game earlier in the year unexpectedly to North Harford. We saw North Harford playing against Falston, and Falston dominated that game. But North Harford, I'm told, played a great game against C. Milton Wright and defeated the Mustangs early in the year. So now, right now, the Mustangs battling to try to get into second place. Now, let me rephrase that. Trying to get the best record of a team that did not win a division. If they do, they'll be seeded 4th against Falston, who will be seeded number 1, undefeated.
Yeah,
that playoff will begin this Friday.
Yeah, they're trying to get that wild card spot. Well, they won the conference last year.
They did, yeah, and they were 2nd seed and defeated Falston, the number 1 seed. They beat them 8-7 last year. So, the Mustangs would like nothing better than to do the same thing this year.
I'm sure they would.
Only coming from 4. Now, the Mustangs, let's talk about them. They've been playing lacrosse here since 1980 when the school opened. 3 coaches in all that time. Carl Greenberg, Andy Gerard, and now Andy LeBrun.
Well, it's really pretty amazing to have 3 coaches in, 46 years?
My math is not good, but yeah.
And I remember Coach Greenberg for a long time, and Coach Gerard as well. Both were here for a long time. Both did excellent jobs with the program. It's been a strong program in Harford County for all those years, really.
Yeah, Carl and I talked together at Aberdeen, and when C. Milton Wright opened, he came over here, inaugurated the lacrosse program. They have never won a state title. So in all those years, 46 of them, yet to win a state title. They'd love to do it. Here come the Huskies with the ball.
The Huskies they need to settle down here. They really haven't possessed the ball. They got the 30-second penalty. There we go. Good shot.
Good shot and a good save by Rocco Ranieri. Rocco, number 33, the sophomore, 68 saves on the year.
I think the defense would have liked them to possess a little bit longer there to get a break, but it was good luck, good shot by Solkowski, just didn't make a nice save.
Great pass. That was a tremendous save by Volker. Volker has 95 saves on the year. With the ball, Roberto Asenze, number 2. Is that a goal? I believe it is.
That was Nathan Solkowski, the freshman. Picks up the ground ball, makes a nice move to the goal, left-handed goal.
6:17, just exactly what Patterson needed. You'll be able to see it here. This is the freshman, 31 goals and now 32 goals. Defeats Ranieri for the score that makes it 2-1 at 6:17.
Well, Solkowski sensed the defenseman coming at him, gave him a little hesitation step, let him go by, and left him wide open to the goal. Goalie had no chance on that.
So you're telling me this young man practices riding a skateboard?
He does. I've seen it firsthand.
I don't want to see that on action, but that certainly does show a lot of balance. I don't know if that's a training technique that's going to catch on or not. Here comes this all-important face-off. Again, see Milton Wright winning the face-off.
Yeah, de Blasi seems to have his number right now on at the X.
Gavin Wood with the ball.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty on the Huskies.
That'll have them play a man down now. It'll be a 30-second or a minute. Do we know? Yep, 30-second is the call. Jim Webb, the official closest to us.
That's going to be a minute. They got him going to the head. I think they're going full time on that with the shot to the head.
Evan Verapatis, the referee who made that call, said, as you said, will be a 1 minute. By the way, you'll be hearing the voice of Kylie Hildebrand Jr. here at C. Milton. She is the volunteer. I asked, how did you get that job? She said, I raised my hand. Don't do that. No, she's doing a great job doing the PA. That hit the pipe, and I think it went in.
Yeah, that was Levy.
It did.
Nice
Levy.
ball work. They did quick passing, quick ball work.
Senior number 1, Sam Levy.
Got Levy.
The goal.
Yeah, got Levy free for the left-handed and low.
That makes it back now to 3-1. You'll be able to see the goal. And there you'll see it. It looked like it hit the pipe and went in. The goal coming at 5:47.
Yeah, that was great ball movement by the Mustangs.
So now it goes to 3-1. Desperate now to get this face-off. As you said, so far it's been dominated by de Blasi. And again, the Mustangs come up with the ball.
Well, shorthanded face-off for the Huskies. They didn't have it on that wing because of the full-time penalty. So
now it looks like the penalty's over now?
No, it's full-time, so they're still up 6-5.
Okay.
I'm not crazy about that shot. I think you're still up a man, get into your extra man offense.
And Volker with a great save. Call? Call is going to be to the Huskies. They get the ball. Jim Webb making that call. Sun beginning to go down, Pat. I'll be happy. I like the sun, but the sun's kind of right in our eyes and right in our camera's lens as well.
Between basically the 40-yard lines is very difficult for us to see.
With the ball is Rex Reynolds, number 1 for Patterson Mill. Rex, 18 goals and 4 assists, a golfer as well, headed to Harford Community College next year. Golf and lacrosse, not normally compatible, do you think? A lot of times you see football players or...
Well, a lot of the shot and the swing is probably not that different.
Okay.
When you talk about getting your hips through.
Yeah, but nobody's going to attack you when you're trying to hit the golf ball.
That's true.
Of course, the golf ball does enough to me without being attacked. It kind of sits there and says, hit me. Well, I'm not very successful at it, although we do try. There goes Cam Stepp back in the ball game.
We're back to 6-on-6. See Milton getting into the regular offense.
That's Cam Stepp, big number 14.
Patterson Mill man-to-man.
What a shot.
Senior number 14, Cameron Stepp.
Stepp with his second goal of the night.
Well, he kind of flicked the first guy off and ran through the second guy, and the third guy didn't seem to want any part of it.
Exactly.
Oh.
It's called a business decision.
Oh. When he gets his shoulders turned going towards the goal, boom.
Just get out of my way.
Yeah.
But you made the point, yeah, he's big and yeah, he's strong, but he has great hand skills.
Well, in feet, he wouldn't be going to Vanderbilt without feet.
Yeah. The Commodores.
Real impressed with Stepp with his movement.
Boy, the Mustangs have just dominated that faceoff. Bad enough that you would score a goal if you're Patterson Mill against you, but now you're on defense again.
Well, they're playing make it take it lacrosse right now. All the more reason when the Huskies get it, they need to try to possess the ball, give their defense a rest.
Yeah.
They've been playing defense all quarter.
Yeah, it's a good call. Here come the Mustangs with the ball, passing it around.
There's Levi up top. He's really their offensive leader.
Captain of the team. Great pass back. Great movement. Flag goes down. They allow that play to continue. No, I saw yellow, but it's not the flag. Erase that. They still have the ball. Pat, no shot clock. As long as they're showing effort to advance the ball, they can keep it as long as they want. We talked about the IAAM. I guess that's the girls, but the MIA that has a shot clock where you have to shoot every, 90 seconds?
Yes.
In high school ball, public school. Levy with the shot. Nice save. Right at the feet of Gavin Volker. Ground ball recovered by the Mustangs. Here they come. Great job by Braden Sander, number 20, the sophomore.
Well, I tell you what, Volker's made some nice saves tonight.
Yeah, he's had 95 saves during the year, and you can tell that he's been under fire.
Well, he's got 5 or 6 already tonight.
And he is a senior. I talk about goalies and catchers. You like to have a person with experience. Pat, you made the point about possession. They really have. The Mustangs have possessed the ball. Shane Biggle, number 2, gets it over to Levy. Oh, great pass and a shot by Stepp. Boy, great looking pass there by Liam Bender to Stepp, who now has a hat trick, and we're still in the first period.
Nice play by both. Bender, nice dodge by Bender. Here you see Bender on the dodge. Sees the big man coming from behind. Boom. And it's all over right there.
I like your sound effects. Boop. Yep. 5-1. Boy, that's not bad. You've got a hat trick, and we still have 2:10 left in the first period.
Big night for senior night for Cameron Stepp. There we go. There's a face-off win for the Huskies. Just what they needed.
Just what they needed. Now, like you said, possess the ball. Flag goes down.
Flag down. All right, they're going to have a penalty. Be smart here.
There's
Good shot. Good shot.
Retrieved by the Huskies. And there's the shot. There's the goal.
Yep.
152.
Nice pass. Great cut by Nathan Sikowski. And I didn't see who got the assist from behind. Goals waved off, or the penalties waved off. I'm sorry.
Here you'll see Nathan Sikowski.
Yeah, I think that pass was from his brother, a little brotherly love. I could be wrong about that. We couldn't quite see it on the face-off, and I missed it live.
We talked about with Coach Noah Worthington about having brothers. Sometimes brothers have sibling rivalry. He said, no, these two brothers really have deep love for each other, and it shows up not only out the court, but also on the field. You love to see that. I mean, you're talking about the freshman, Nathan Sikowski, comes in, he's got 31 goals, and right away a save by Volker. Dodged the big bullet there. I mean, you go down now 5-2, and right away the Mustangs come back. Here come the Huskies. Shot just a bit wide. That was by Rex Reynolds.
I don't mind that shot. He was on the run, had a good look at it, just pulled it wide.
And the Huskies retain possession. Flag goes down. Was that the man who's knocked down in the crease?
Yeah, they got there's going to be a legal hit on on Nathan Sokowski.
And of course, in this game, you continue with the ball as long as you have it. Now, if they lose the ball, that's when the official will call that penalty. Great looking pass. Reynolds with the ball. Back out it comes. Open for the shot.
Oh.
Rainieri with that save. Rocco Rainieri.
Just off the pipe, almost had it.
Inside a minute left here in the first period. 5-2. Mustangs broke ahead 2-0. It was 2-1, then 3-1, 4-1, and then 5-1. And then the goal by the Huskies just a moment ago.
Well, we'll get another look at the Huskies' extra man offense. First time through was a little shaky. Nerves have calmed a little bit, so let's see what happens here. See if they can work to get an open shot. I'd like to get a goal here in the last minute of the game, or the quarter.
Good defense by the Mustangs.
Oh, God.
What's the call?
In the crease. That's a mistake. That's a bad mistake.
That's called a unforced error. Huh?
Oh, that's a killer.
Now, explain that in the crease. What happened?
Well, you can't go in the crease whether you have the ball or not, and so they lose possession.
Here comes Levy.
My guess is down a man of the Mustangs will probably just try to kill this here.
With 25 seconds left here, there's Cam Stepp with the ball behind the goal.
He'll let him beat on him for a little bit. Looks like a toothpick in his hand.
Cam Stepp with 3 goals already here in this first period. 10 seconds. Taken away by the Huskies. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and that will be the end of the first period with the score 5-2. Milton Wright with the lead. They've led from the beginning. Led 2-0, led 5-1, and now it is 5-2. What have you seen, Pat?
Well, I've seen Milton Wright until the most recent was dominating the face-off and in turn and dominating possession as well, and made the most of it. Levi has come as advertised. He looks good running the offense. Liam Bender's had a couple nice plays as well. And then, I hate to just call him the big man, but he's the big man.
Number
Hammer
14.
stuff out there.
It looks almost like that jersey is purposely a little bit small on him, He said, give me a small jersey just so I can fill it out.
I guess it's the biggest one they got.
Big number 14.
But he looks good. I've been impressed with the way he moves, and it'll be fun to watch him when he goes and plays SEC football. Now with the Husky side, a couple nice plays, nice goals by the freshman Nathan Sokowski. He comes in with 31. He's got both goals on both of them. Nice plays, nice moves to the goal. Now what's been disappointing for the Huskies is when they have had possession, they've had extra man twice.
Yeah.
And the first time they dropped the ball, second time, really critical error with off ball. Somebody without the ball stepped into the crease. You just can't do that. You want to score at least half of those extra man possessions. And so if they convert one or both of those, they're in the game.
Getting set now for the second period, 12-minute periods. If it comes down to that, there are 4-minute extra periods, sudden death. The first goal is the winner, and obviously we've explained how important this game is to Milton Wright. They need a win tonight. If they were to lose, they would not make the UCBAC playoffs. A win means they'll be seeded number 4. They'll play number 1, Falston, who's going to win their division. The defending UCBAC champions are the Mustangs, and now they've turned around. Mustangs going from left to right. They have the ball. And now taken away by Patterson Mill. Good check. Lots of action here close by us. It's our way.
Yep. Love to see the energy on the ground balls that we're seeing tonight.
You can tell that the Huskies are trying to match the energy shown by Milton Wright. Mustangs came out with all the energy in the world. There you see the officials getting together.
Yep.
Jim Webb.
Good job by the refs to talk it out. Sometimes the closest ref doesn't have the best view.
Evan Vera Patterson, Jim Webb, the two officials doing a great job here tonight in a very, very energetic game so far. Huskies with the ball, looking to try to get in position. Flag goes down. Looks like somebody maybe a little extra push there by C. Milton Wright.
Yep.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
30 seconds is the call.
Technical foul, push.
It means for the next 30 seconds, Patterson Mill will be up a man. Pat, as you said, they've wasted their first two chances.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the coach would like to see him actually run the extra man offense here.
Yes, it's supposed to be you have the advantage. Coach Andrew LeBrun, by the way, we mentioned in his 4th year for C. Milton Wright. Taken away. Retained now by, oh my goodness, that's going to be a penalty.
Yeah.
Kind of ran over the young man. So now it's going to be, what, 2 down, C. Milton Wright?
Be 2 down. You got him with the cross check there.
Yeah, that was obvious right in front of the referee.
Well, I thought he was going to call a push, and I thought that would have been a little bit of a tough call. I thought the Patterson Mill guy turned last second, but he did have his stick out and got him with the cross check. So good call.
So let's see if the Huskies can narrow this this deficit now from 5 to 2.
Yeah, they probably got about 10 seconds here on the first penalty. Oh God.
Missed. Yeah, that's when the coach tears his hair out about, you know, we have the, now they're down 1 as the.
We're back to 6 on 5.
There's a shot at a goal.
Nice rip.
What a goal that was. Was that number 1 again?
That was Rex Reynolds right there.
Rex Reynolds with the goal.
Yeah, he just dropped down a little bit and then ripped it upper left corner.
10:42. You'll see this great shot. That is a bullet.
That low to high riser's a tough one for the goalie, especially when Rex had time to step into that. Took about 3 steps stepping into that thing, and that was humming. That was accelerating through the goal.
And the goal does not mean that the penalty is released, so they're still down a man, I believe.
No, they've released this one.
They did?
Yeah, they just. Yep.
It's not releasable on the goal. So what is it? I guess maybe the time expired.
No, it's releasable, and unless he calls, if the ref feels that it's egregious, he'll call full time.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. So releasable meaning if you score a goal, then the penalty is over, and
correct.
The player comes back in. Now, if you're down 2, do you get 1 back? Is that what happens?
No, both players have to serve their time.
Okay.
Oh, as far as if a goal's scored?
Yeah.
Well, if they're both released,
okay.
if they're not full time.
Yeah. Different rules in different segments of lacrosse, but I think that's probably the proper one when you score a goal. You know, and if you're Patterson Mill, you have to be happy. Noah Worthington says that's the way the man-up offense is supposed to be run.
Well, when you don't drop the ball or step in the crease, it's it seems to work.
5-3
I hate
now.
to be so negative, but as a old coach and lacrosse guy, it was getting a little frustrating. Just wanted to see him run their offense.
5-1 was the score. The Huskies have scored the last 2 goals in a row. One at the end, Nathan Solkowski, and this one by Reynolds as we start the second half, or the second period, I should say.
Well, the Huskies are trying to creep back into this, make a game out of it.
Yeah. You're down 5-1, just about to be blown out. You get 2 straight goals, and now you're only down by 2 goals. Mustangs taking some time off the clock. Levi with the ball. Pat, you made a good point. Sam Levi seems to be the young man that just runs everything for this team. Bit of a high, wide shot.
Good check. Good check by the Patterson Mill player.
Yeah, it looked like number 3.
Yep.
And let's see.
Brady Quinn. Got the stick into his hands, calls that shot to go high.
Brady Quinn, a senior midfielder.
Sometimes young players, they want to take a swing, they want to go high. A good poke check in the hands will destroy a shooter.
Mustangs still with the ball. Levi shoots it low. Goalie's able to block it. Picked up, ground ball.
Well, this is a good one here.
That is a scrum.
Yeah, we're going to get a push in the back.
Boy, how difficult it is to pick up a ground ball with a stick that's got a little pocket to it, and people are banging on you.
1 minute.
1 minute penalty. Evan Patterson calls that penalty.
A little aggressive there by Quinn on the ground ball.
.8:22 left here, as you see, in the half. We give the Huskies a lot of credit, Pat. They were down 5-1. They've made a game of it here.
Good save again.
Couldn't find the ball momentarily.
Nah, but good save there.
That save by Volker. That ball was right down at his feet, Pat. That has to be the toughest one to save.
Yeah,
Kind of
maybe
loses your eyesight.
Yeah, loose push there on Tyler Sokolski.
Here comes Levi. Great pass. Hitting on the run, Liam Bender. Oh, great. Oh, no, it's a little bit high. Looks like that pass.
I don't know if C. Milton Wright remembered they were in extra man still. They were a little frantic with that and didn't get into their extra man offense.
7 minutes, 30 seconds left in the half. Here come the Pattersonville Huskies trying to score a third straight goal.
I think they're just going to try. Now they're full strength. They're just trying to kill the penalty there.
And they successfully did that. Jack Reed, senior, with the ball. Reed dodging from behind the crease. Fighting for the ball. Good defense by C. Milton Wright. It looked like number 11, Gavin Wood, making that play.
Yeah, nice play by Wood there. Oh,
nice ground ball pickup.
Over.
Open for the shot momentarily.
Good trail
From
check.
behind. Wow, what a takeaway. He's at number 20.
Braden Sander,
Braden
sophomore.
Well, he's a big kid for a sophomore.
Well, he leads the defense in ground balls too, and that was a great takeaway.
Yeah, just when it appeared like Patterson-Mill was ready to go on offense, that ball suddenly taken away. Sun going down here at C. Milton Wright. Temperature started out somewhere in the 70s. Probably still a very comfortable night. Caitlin Larimore, the athletic director here at C. Milton Wright, always giving us great hospitality. Good defensive play by Patterson-Mill. Got that stick in there and knocked it away.
I think Patterson-Mill has settled in this game. The Mustangs came out with a lot of emotion on senior night.
Levy.
We got a ball game right now.
Oh, nice spin move by Levy. He goes down on his own accord. Whistle blows. Let's see what that's all about. There you see Veripatis, Evan Veripatis, the official, will explain it all.
I think he's going to call a push on Levy there.
Offside is the call.
I didn't see it.
That de Blasi was offside, number 3.
Well, they're getting Brady Quinn for being offside.
Yeah, for Patterson-Mill.
I think he just was the odd man out on that. I don't think if they were offsides. I don't know that it was him.
Entering the game for Patterson-Mill with 14, Ryan Plummer. Ryan, a sophomore defender. Also in the game, Rowan George, a freshman midfielder. 13 seniors. This will be the last time they will play on this field in their life, Pat. That's kind of heavy when you say it that way. 4 years passes quickly. Nice save. Bounces away and comes right back to Volker.
Volker's had some excellent saves tonight.
Very impressive.
Seeing the ball well.
Nice over-the-shoulder catch there by 29, Seth Wilhelm. Seth Wilhelm, number 29, the freshman, timeout on the field. We were talking about Andy LeBrun. This young man graduated in 2013 from C. Milton Wright. He was an all-county player, first team lacrosse, also played soccer. So he is carrying forth the legacy of Carl Greenberg and Andy Gerard, who carried this program from 1980, goodness gracious, until 2026, 46 years.
46 years, and it's good to see. You're seeing that at some of the other. You're seeing that over at Falston, to see some of the star alumni come back and coach at their school, at their alma mater.
Patrick Mull, of course, the coach there.
Yeah, so I think that's fun. I think it's good for lacrosse in Harford County that these young men want to step up and give back to something that was so important to them.
Yeah, and looking at the two coaches, first of all, we're talking about Coach LeBrun. He coaches for Lacrosse Unlimited. He was USA Coach of the Year in 24, Aegis Coach of the Year in 25. So, Pat, you're talking about young talent on that side. And then Noah Worthington, the great coach at Patterson Mill, taking over for them as well. Noah, in his second year, he runs the True Premier Club lacrosse program outside school. So both these lacrosse coaches are serious lacrosse people.
They're full year coaches, all lacrosse all the time for these coaches. And I wouldn't be surprised if they had some crossover with some of these players between their clubs.
Absolutely, yeah, and maybe even coaching some of the players that played for them on their club on the other team tonight. We've seen that as well. Oh, off the pipe
shot.
Had that ball going in, Patterson Mill would have been even more close.
Yeah, Cole Christian, good shot, just off the pipe.
Pat, it's getting kind of twilight here tonight. The lights have not yet taken. There's the goal. The goal scored by number 5. Looking for that number. Oh. Yeah, that's Cole Christian, the junior midfielder.
Just missed on the first one off the pipe, but he snuck the second one in there. Nice placement on that shot.
You'll be able to see how this shot gets the pass, winds up just at the top part.
Wow.
Impossible.
Right in that top corner. Hit the top pipe there. Those the top cheddar, they used to call it. But Taj McFawn, junior midfielder, with a nice assist there.
Yeah. Wait, don't look now, Pat, but Patterson Mill has scored the last 3 goals in a row. They were down 5-1 at 2:10 left, or 2:10 to play in that first period. Now suddenly they're down by 1 goal.
And
what a comeback.
And they're still struggling on the face-off, and despite that, they've managed to get themselves back into the game.
Sam Levy.
That was a pass.
Going to be Patterson Mill ball.
Yep.
What a comeback. So, I mean, what's been the key? What has happened that didn't happen in the first period?
Well, you heard me talk about possessing the ball. They've settled down on offense. They're not throwing it away. They've possessed the ball, and they're getting some really good shot placement.
We talk about
warding off.
Talk about Mr. Mo in sports and in lacrosse. I think it's probably as important as any sport. You get that ball rolling behind you. It just seems like you can't do anything wrong. So let me ask you the different way. If you're the Mustangs, what do you do now to turn it back around?
You just have to run your offense. You're still up 5-4. Let's run our offense. Let's get a good shot. If I'm them, I'm getting the ball in Levi's hands, and and from there I'm trying to get it to Step.
Yeah.
Step had 3 goals in the first 5 minutes. Let's get
what great defense.
Let's get it back to him.
And Step has the ball now. Being double teamed, he doesn't matter. Does that spin move, takes the ball right down the middle, breaks the pass. Pass unable to connect.
Good play, though. That's what they need to do.
Wait, Cameron Steppen again, we said it. Not only is he big, not only is he strong, but boy, is he talented. What great feet. That spin move, Pat. There he is, number 14. And there's the goal. That's what C. Milton Wright needed. At 3:20, they're able to get back into this game.
Beagle with the goal. Nice cut by Beagle.
Shane Beagle, 7 assists on the year. That's his first goal of the year. So 3:20 left in the half. You'll watch Shane Beagle get this shot. Point blank, able to put it in. 6-4 now. What a big goal that is.
Bane Meyer, we talked about so much about Nathan Solkowski is the freshman for Patterson Mill. That's C. Milton Wright's freshman. Bane Meyer, number 24. He's got 11 goals on the year, but that was a great assist he had right there.
Here comes the Mustangs again. Passing the ball. Fortunate to come back with the ball. So now Mo seems to have switched again, Pat.
Well, the Mustangs, I think that was a big goal for them.
Oh, it was.
They needed that.
Patterson Mill, a 1A school. C. Milton Wright, a 2A school. So they will not be playing in the playoffs, in the state playoffs.
Oh.
Almost. Good play by Rainieri. Changing on the fly. Levy, number 1. Good defense by the Huskies. Ball is loose. Coming up on the 2-minute mark, left in the half. Mustangs come away with it.
Pretty ragged play out there right now.
Beagle.
Oh.
Beagle with the shot. He has made 2 goals in a row here. Beagle all by himself.
Senior number 2, Shane Beagle.
Well, Beagle takes it all the way off the ground ball. Nobody picks him up.
Kind of over the shoulder, hits right at the feet.
Yep, right through the, looked like it might have went through the 5-hole.
So what a big comeback by the Mustangs. It looked like it was all Patterson Mill. They had scored the last 3 goals in a row, closed within 1, and now at 3:20 and 2:01, it's been Shane Beagle. According to my stats, he doesn't have any goals on the year, just 7 assists.
Well, good, nice answer for the Mustangs.
Mm-hmm. Here comes that all-important face-off.
Stretch this league back out to 3. Patterson Mill really needs to win a face-off. There they go. They got it.
Just as you called it. Oh, great.
Nice fast
break. And great
Very
goal.
nice.
What a goal. Is that number 10? With
yeah,
the goal.
That was Tyler Sikowski, but they ran that fast break beautifully from the face-off man to hits the point man, Rex Reynolds. That's textbook for young players out there. You got to hit the point man. Right here.
This pass.
Right there. Boom. Defenseman slides. Solkowski's right down on the crease. Perfect. That's how you draw. That's how you practice that. You run that drill in practice every day.
So 2:01, C. Milton Wright scores, and 9 seconds later, Solkowski, the elder Solkowski, Tyler Solkowski, the junior, scores. And that makes it 7-5.
We're going to get a slash here on the Huskies.
Coming down. There's a shot just a bit wide.
Yeah, Mustangs are going to be the extra man.
Minute 37 left in the half. Boy, back and forth it's gone. When it was 5-1, it looked like a blowout for C. Milton Wright. And then the Huskies come back with 3 in a row. Looks like, hey, they're going to come back. Then 2 goals for C. Milton Wright, and then a big goal for Patterson Mill. It's the kind of game, Pat, we want to see, huh? As spectators.
It's been an exciting game.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of momentum changes.
And we've seen a lot of skill as well on both sides. The Solkowski brothers for Patterson Mill in particular. Sam Levy for Patterson Mill, and Cam Stepp, I should say, for C. Milton Wright. Great pass, good save, right at the feet. Boy, Volker did a nice job going down and being able to knock that ball over the goal. Looked like the goal shooter may have sort of.
Yeah, Mayer's frustrated with himself. He knows he should have buried that one.
Yeah. I think it hit the pipe.
I think it hit the top pipe.
Came
Bounced
right
back out.
Mustangs with the ball inside a minute coming up now.
They're still up a man.
That's Levy.
Good
Great
look.
pass inside.
Nice save.
Volker with a save.
Looks like he got it with the stick.
I don't know what he got it with, but it was point blank. 50 seconds. Back and forth they come. Mustangs
I think we're
with
back to full strength.
Levy. Oh, intercepted by Volker.
Yeah, that was a pass.
That ball was thrown right at the crease, and Volker reached out, grabbed it. 30 seconds. Running with the ball. That's Jamison King. 15 seconds. Timeout on the field. Why would you call the timeout with 12 seconds left, Pat?
The coach wants to run a play.
Yeah, there you go.
They didn't have all his guys in. They were in transition. He wants to set up, use the timeout here, set up. Probably got a particular play in mind.
Pat, the assistant coaches for C. Milton Wright, Dr. James Lamb, we're very familiar with him from the Edgewood days, and he's retired, but he comes back and he says, I sub-teach about twice a week. I pick and choose the one I want to do. He's still coaching here. Kenny Reed, Austin Felt, and John Salisbury, they are the assistant coaches for C. Milton. Tyler Mingle, Brandon Dillon, Craig Merck, and Josh John are the assistant coaches for Patterson Mill. With those assistant coaches, Pat, they are the key to, the head coach sets the tone, yeah, but it's the assistants that take all the dirty work.
It is. You got to have good assistants. You can't do it all by yourself, especially if you have complementary assistants. If you're an offensive guy, if you can have a guy that can coach defense,
yep,
or vice versa.
Talking to Dr. Lamb about that, and he said that coaches have to sell their program. In other words, you have to be a year-round, talk the program up, especially if you're not in the building. That makes it even tougher.
Well, they're gonna give the ball to Step here.
And get out of the way is what they're saying. Cam Step, number 14, the big guy, headed for Vanderbilt. The Commodores will be getting a great football player. Here he comes. And shoots the ball a little bit wide, 5 seconds. Stops at 4.6. Mustangs will retain possession.
He got a pretty good look at it, just pulled it wide.
That's the play the coaches had in mind. Give it to Cam Step and get out of the way.
Hey, why not?
Pops in the air, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and it looks like the half will end, and it does end with a score at 7-5. Hey, Pat, what an exciting half that was. From one end to the other, it's 5-1 C. Milton, then it's 5-4, then it's 7-4, and now it's 7-5. We got a game.
Well, great ball game. I don't think we're going to lose any viewers here. I hope not.
No, it's going to be fun. And again, C. Milton Wright needing the win on senior night to qualify for the playoffs. Patterson Mill looking for their first win against C. Milton Wright since 2023. Don't go away. We're going to pause here at halftime. Coming right back, our score 7-5. The Mustangs leading over the Huskies. We'll be back with the second half. Back with you at C. Milton Wright High School. Don Morrison, Pat Pollard. Pat, we were hoping we were going to get an exciting game. I'd say the game is more than we hoped it would be.
It's been great, back and forth. Thought we were going to get a blowout there. We both did, I think, in the first 5 minutes. C. Milton Wright came out on senior night,
yep,
and the seniors showed up. And then, but the Huskies grinded. They regrouped, got back into the game, and we got a ball game here, 7-5.
And Pat, you made a good point. Ball possession, so key for Patterson Mill. They were sloppy at it early on. They got down 5-1. They could have just folded the tent and gone home, but instead they started controlling the ball and really started playing very well. Got back into the game. We're down by 1 goal at one point, and now they're back within 2 here as we start the second half.
So I think these face-offs are going to be key to watch. C. Milton Wright has got the better there. We've got 2 good face-off guys, both of them getting about 2 out of 3 on the season. Simon Wright early on was dominating. The Huskies came back a little bit towards the end, so I think it's going to be key. The Huskies need to get possession. They need to get the ball. When they possess the ball, they've done pretty good.
Yeah, and we were talking with the officials here at halftime, and one of them, Mr. Patterson, made the point, whatever happens in the first couple 3 minutes can determine the game, because we've seen the momentum switch from one to the other, and if Patterson Mill can come out and, let's say, score a goal or two, then we're going to have a real game.
We're going to the end.
If Milton Wright can score a couple, then it could be theirs to win.
That's right. I would agree with that.
Don't forget, the Mustangs need a win tonight to be able to get into the playoffs. If they lose, then they won't be in the playoffs. If they win, they'll be the best team not to win a division title. They'll be playing number 1 Falston this coming Friday night in the semifinals of the Yuckback. So here we go. 24 minutes of exciting action as they are scrumming out there. And finally the ball comes loose and Milton Wright comes away with it. They have dominated on that face-off. So here we go. The Mustangs going from right to left in the white uniforms. The white home uniforms. Patterson Mill in the teal. Pat, what are you looking for here early on?
I'm looking for them to get into their offense. So you're up 2 goals. Let's set the tone here. Let's run a good play. Let's get a good shot. And see if we can stretch this lead out a little bit if you're the Mustangs.
Milton Wright coming in at 5-5, but they're 3-1 in the Hayden division. If they could win tonight to go 4-1, they would finish second to Falston. Again, they would be the 4th seed in the Yuckback playoffs. Patterson Mill, on the other hand, 6-6. Boy, a win here tonight on senior night. What a big deal that would be for them. Pat, it could be a program maker. I don't want to be, overly hyped, but if you could win at Milton Wright on senior night, when they need the win to get into the playoffs,
it'd certainly make their season. Oh, threw the ball away.
Yep. Wild pass that time. Mustangs will retain possession.
Yeah, great hustle back there.
It was. Getting the ball as it went out of bounds was a bad pass, but they retained possession.
Shane Beagle made a nice play back there.
Shane Beagle, who scored those last 2 goals of the first half. Boy, how big was that?
Oh, it was huge. Simon Wright had lost momentum of the game.
Beagle made 2, I think, one was unassisted completely?
Oh, yeah, picked up the ground ball, took it all the way across.
Cameron Stepp, big number 14, who scored 3 goals by 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first period. Had a chance there at the end of the first half, wasn't able to score.
I stand corrected. I said it was Beagle. It was, I think it was Bender back there on that save.
Okay. There he is, Cam. I want to say Cam Hayward because it reminds me of Cam Hayward, but Cam Stepp, the senior, one of the captains for.
Oh, what a pass.
And what a goal.
Pass.
I mean, going up
There's
and making
Bender.
that catch. Was that Beagle again? Was that number 2?
No, that was Bender.
Bender with
That was
the
number
goal.
5.
Number 5 who makes the goal. Liam Bender had 16 goals coming in.
Number 5, Liam Bender.
Bender with the goal.
Senior number 1.
Well, Bender's not a tall kid, but watch him climb the ladder here for that one. Great play, great catch, and then, wow, hip high.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. You get handcuffed as a goalie when they shoot it hip high, just inside the
he
pipe.
caught that ball. He had to leap to catch it and then shot the ball low. What an adjustment he made.
Yeah, a very athletic play to be able to catch that, regroup, and get the shot off almost simultaneously, and great placement on the shot.
And what a goal there by Milton Wright. We talked about that. The first couple of minutes here of this 3rd period could determine how the game's going to go. So far, the Mustangs get that big first goal. Evan Veripatis says, nope, it'll be Milton Wright ball. Here come the Mustangs. Senior night at Milton Wright. Nice crowd as we look across the way. A lot of enthusiasm here on this sideline, Pat.
As the sun sets and the lights are not the greatest lights here. It's a little tough to see those light blue numbers for the Mustangs.
Yeah.
If we get a name wrong, bear with us.
Especially for old eyes like I have here. Hard enough to see when you have good sunlight. Mustangs now settling it down with that big 3-goal lead now. They scored that first goal. Levi. And another goal. Boy, that was a sidearm shot. Who said, is that number 12?
I think that was Jonathan. Who do we got there?
Looking, trying to see the number and having difficulty picking it. The Mustangs scored a goal. It looks like maybe number 18.
Jonathan.
Let's see if we can see.
Dawson Hayward, here 18. Watch him go away from the goal. Question mark dodge. Boom.
Yeah.
Nice play.
Yeah. Dawson Hayward,
junior midfielder.
Scoring the goal, so that's
playing a little bit of attack right now, yeah.
But what a big goal now, making it 9-5, and suddenly it is a 4-goal lead for the Mustangs.
Desperate face-off win for the Huskies. Oh, wow.
And just like that, you called it, Pat. The goal.
Well, he got the fast break off the face-off. He hits the point man, and that time Rex Reynolds says, if they're not going to pick me up, I'm going to take it myself, and he goes upper corner.
9-6. That goal was scored 5 seconds after Milton Wright scored. The Pattersonville Huskies came back and scored. Pat, the goal was by whom?
Rex Ryan. Nice placement on that shot. And boy, Rex, we've seen it earlier. He can rip it.
Rex Reynolds, the number 1, 18 goals coming in. Boy, what a big goal for Pattersonville. They were just about ready, as they were in the first period, you know, to get blown out of here.
Just what the doctor ordered for Patterson-Mill, 2 face-off wins in a row after losing the first couple.
Colin Cavendall, number 13 with the ball.
Got to give it up. Got to give it up.
And
now
flag
he draws
goes.
a penalty. Now he draws a penalty. I don't think that's a smart penalty.
Yeah, it looked like he was going nowhere, but the Mustang defender gave him a bump and he got the penalty.
Yeah, I'm not sure Cavendall was a big threat to go to the goal there.
Right, number 3, cross check.
Evan Veripatis with the call against Garrett DeBlasi. Is that a 30-second pattern?
Yeah, and I know you want to, I think 1 minute they called it.
So Patterson-Mill goes up now a player. If they could score here, wow, what a momentum shift that would be.
Big extra man possession here.
See what the Huskies can do. Setting up, trying to get the shot. And there's the goal. Whoa! That shot from way downtown.
Husky goal.
Was that number
5, Cole Christian on the shot.
Christian, thank you, the junior.
I'm very impressed with the time and room shots by the Huskies. They can really rip the ball when they get their feet set.
Boy, that was good defense too. And just when it looked like that he
Comes
would,
right back to him.
and
Boom.
look at the shot. Boom, right by
Got the step down.
goalie.
He gave the ball up, the defense slid in, and he stepped down, get a couple, 3 or 4 feet closer to the goal, and then lets it rip. Oh, right back the other way.
This is amazing. So now the score is at 7:39. That's 6 seconds later.
Dawson Hayward.
Senior number 3, Garrett DeBlasi.
Where you been, Dawson Hayward? 2 in a row, 2 beautiful goals in a row from Dawson Hayward.
Pat, there was a goal at 8:40, a goal at 8:35, a goal at 7:45, a goal at 7:39. So goals coming fast and furious here.
Wow, if you blinked, you missed that one. But just as I was talking about the Huskies' shooting ability, Dawson Hayward says, hey, I can do that too.
Yeah, I was writing down Christian's goal, and I looked up, and a goal was scored by Milton Wright, 10-7. It was 7-5 at the half. Battling for the ball. Flag will go down.
Going to be on the Huskies.
Emotions getting a little bit high there. Jim Webb calls the penalty from the opposite side of the field.
The cross check, 1 minute, release time 6:25.
A 1-minute penalty. A penalty called on Brady Quinn.
Brady Quinn. That penalty's on the Mustangs. I thought they were calling that on the Huskies.
Yeah. A call on DeBlasi, on Garrett DeBlasi, number 3. So the Huskies up a man, I should say, down by 3 goals. They were down by 2 at the half.
They need to score here. Keep it close. Keep it within 2.
There's a shot just a bit wide. Knocked away by Ranieri. 7:03 left here in the third period. Remember, it was 7-5 at the half, and then 2 straight goals by C. Milton Wright made it 9-5. Had that lead of 4 that matched the biggest lead of the night. And then 2 straight goals by Patterson Mill. And finally a goal by C. Milton make it 10-7.
I think that's where they got to go. That's where they have the shorty.
Boy, good defense on C. Milton Wright's part. Patterson Mill retains possession, though.
Good save.
Ranieri with the save. Clears it way down the field.
Maybe rush that shot a little bit. I think they still had time on the penalty. Good check.
Good check, taken away.
Oh, that's to the head.
Levy, who came away with that ball, will draw the penalty. And they stop play now, and it'll be a man down.
Now, I'm sure this one's going to be on the Huskies.
Yeah. Boy, Levy, what a play. He took the ball away, and then he was being hacked. Refused to give the ball up, and finally the penalty was called.
Number 14 with the slash. 1 minute.
1 minute, the penalty
Number 29
goes against Ryan
with the
Plummer.
push. Technical 30 seconds.
Yeah, it got a little high on the slash.
5:33 and 5:03.
So what are we down? Patterson Mill is going to be down.
Down 1.
Down 1 and down 3 goals. You can hear the C. Milton Wright bench.
Well, they're sensing it here.
Yeah,
Got a chance to go up 4 goals.
they've been up 4 goals twice. Patterson Mill has been able to bounce back. Faking the shot. So far the defense is held. Let's see what's going to happen. In no hurry. There's the shot.
Oh, gosh, a good shot.
Did it
Off
hit
the
pipe?
crossbar.
Coming away with the ball is Patterson Mill.
Good ground ball.
Good pickup by Quinn Shiflett, the sophomore. Wait, 1-on-3 there. That usually doesn't work too well.
You can't go through 3 guys.
That's Levy with the ball. So impressive. And there's the goal. There's the big one. That puts the lead back out to 4 at 11-7.
I think that might have been Hayward again.
Last save goal, number 18, Dawson Hayward.
Dawson
It is.
Hayward picking up
That's,
unsettled here.
that's 3 goals here for him in this third period. That
Yeah.
one coming at 4:57.
Yeah, and he got a nice assist there from the freshman, Bane Mayer. Good cut, nice pass by Mayer. And that's been the guy in the second half.
Yeah, we had 3 goals by Stepp in the first period, and now 3 goals here by Hayward
Yeah,
in the third period.
Hayward's feeling it right now.
11-7 back to a 4-goal lead. And here come the Mustangs again. Nice save. Boy, that's a critical save. They couldn't go down by 5. Saved by Volker. Huskies desperately in need of a goal here. Try to stem that momentum.
Pull it out. There you go. Pull it out. Get your offensive guys on the field.
Huskies looking.
Nice. Oh, good look. Almost.
That would have been a key goal.
Pass just a hair behind him. Good idea.
Battle for the loose ball. Patterson Mill
Still
momentarily. And now finally it is C. Milton Wright coming up with the ball. Number 20, that's Braden Sander making the pickup. Almost another goal. A hit from behind, but it was a legal one. Well, that C. Milton Wright bench is really excited. They can just taste it right now.
They're into the game right now. They're feeling it.
Senior night here at C. Milton Wright. Again, the last time these young men will play on the home field. If they win, they qualify to face Falston in the Yuckback semifinals. Remember, it was last year that they came in as the second seed and defeated Falston by 8-7 and won the Yuckback. Region champions last year as well, Pat. 13 seniors, you know, they want to go out on top, obviously. Officials are going to call something here. I don't know.
They're going to call it was a play on for Patterson Mill being in the crease.
So C. Milton Wright will get the ball with 2:50 and counting left in the third. Clock stopped at 2:31. Cam stepped back in the game, big number 14. Mustangs up by that big 4-goal lead now. They have led by 4 twice. Actually 3 times. They led 5-1, they led 9-5, and now they lead 11-7. Patterson Mill never has led tonight. They were within 1 goal at 5-4. Got as close as 2 goals here in the second half.
Good save again.
Volker with the save.
Oh,
blindside.
Oh, gonna get him with the cross check.
Yep. Running right into it, jumping
Yeah,
up.
I think step would have been okay. He didn't launch into that if he just would have had his hands together.
Boy, give a lot of credit to number 11, Ronan McCoy, the junior midfielder. I'm not so sure I would have gotten up, Pat. I would have laid there for a while.
The officials are going to talk this one over. They might hit him with something a little more egregious than the initial call.
Yeah, it looked like he stood his ground. We're talking about Cam Step, but then he sort of reached his arms out at the last
Stick
moment.
looked like it got a little high on the cross check.
Evan Verapatis.
Number 14, flagrant direct contact to the head. 3 minutes, full time, and ejected.
Oh. Wow, they've ejected 14 from the game, 3-minute flagrant.
Tough penalty. It's a 3-minute flagrant, and Cam Step has been ejected from the game. Andy LeBrun, the coach for C. Milton Wright, is asking for an explanation.
Well, look, it was a tough hit, and I can see it 2-minute or 3-minute unreleasable. I just disagree with throwing the kid out of the game. He didn't launch into him.
Yeah.
He just had the play just came right to him. He happened to be standing there. He put the stick up. Should have been a penalty. Should have been a major penalty.
That's a big one.
That's a tough one to throw the kid out of the game.
So 3 minutes unreleasable, meaning that the Huskies will be up a man for 3 minutes.
They'll be up, unreleasable, and that's a big loss for the Mustangs to
Cam
lose Step
Step
for the
will
rest
not
of
be
the
able
game.
to come back in the game. Now, obviously, they can put another man back in after the 3 minutes are over.
Correct.
But it won't be Cam Step. Key penalty. Let's see if that affects the pace of the game at 1:21 left here in this third period. Mustangs with
Nice
the ball.
job by Jamison King on defense there.
Remember, down a man are the Huskies.
Well, this is
Just the
tough when you got to
Mustangs.
play man down for 3 minutes. You're pretty gassed at the end of this one, but
Yeah.
we'll see if they can do it.
Let's see, they've wasted about a minute here, used about a minute of that penalty. It'll extend into the fourth period, so it's not releasable at the period ends. Clock running at 50 and now stopped at 50.2 seconds left in the third. The 4-goal lead for the Mustangs, down by a man, and without the services of their big number 14 Cam Stepp for the rest of the game. Pat, I think the officials erring on the side of safety, wanting to make a point.
I didn't mean to be too harsh. I get it. I understand it's a dangerous play.
Wild pass. Uh-oh, the C. Milton Wright is able to hustle and get the ball. Big turnover.
Unfortunately, it's set up perfectly. The Husky player caught the ball right in front and he spun right into Stepp.
Yeah, Ronan McCoy, he didn't see Stepp at all.
Stepp raises stick. Of course, he's 6'4", 6'5", so when he raises the stick up, it's going to be head high.
And it's like hitting a brick wall. I'm so impressed again with McCoy, who came right out of the game, but came off the field.
Sometimes I used to call it the big guy, little guy. If it was a little guy that hits a big guy like that, sometimes it doesn't look so dramatic.
Yeah.
But it was a cross check and it was high.
Yeah.
But Stepp did not go after him.
Yep.
Did not launch into him, and so that's why I think it was a tough call to throw him out of the game.
Carrie Johnson, by the way, gives us a chance to mention for ATI, she's the medic on the field. Now, thank goodness her services have not been required so far, but back in our day, Pat, when we had maybe a volunteer doctor on hand once in a while, now every practice, every game, you've got a qualified medic here ready to take action and help out these young people. I think that's one of the greatest things that's happened in high school sports here in my lifetime.
It really is. It's really a big deal. I saw guys back in our day, or when, well, I wasn't around for your day, but my day when I was playing.
Nobody was around for my day.
So you might have to have a parent take you to the hospital if something happened.
We had I'm trying to remember his name now. That's terrible. Who was a volunteer. He wasn't a doctor. He was a chemist on post.
Well, we had Doc Linder, who was a doctor down in Joppatown.
Yep.
And and then we were lucky at Edgewood High School. We had Larry Noel.
Yeah.
Who was a athletic training major in college, and Larry's still living in the Bel Air area, just retired. He's doing great.
Yeah, what a guy he is. He bleeds Edgewood red and white, no question about it. I finally remember the name. Doc McShane was the gentleman who served as our medic, if you will. Had a couple of sons, Pat McShane and Tom McShane. Tom, who was a principal for a long time here in Harford County, member of the Hall of Fame, as is Doc McShane, as is Pat Pollard, a member of the Edgewood High School Hall of Fame.
Who?
You know him, Pat Pollard. Yeah, one of the great young men in American history, right here, Pat. Yeah. Look, his head is getting all big and everything. Pat, really thank you for being a part of this here tonight. Your expertise is just really very, very helpful in knowing what's going on here on this field. What a game we've had.
We've had an exciting game. It's we're going to the fourth quarter here. It's still a close game. Huskies are still in it.
It was 5-1 at one point with 2:10 left in the first period, and then Patterson Mill came all the way back and made it 5-4 with 4:37 left in the half. C. Milton Wright ended with a 7-5 lead at the half. They were up by 9-5 and then also by 11-7 where they are now. So a 4-goal lead they've had 3 different times. "12 minutes left here. They're trying to get." Looks like 10:44 will be the time. They're telling us that this penalty would be released. So until the 10:44 mark, about a minute and a half into the fourth period.
Yeah, so the 3-minute non-releasable. the Huskies really need to score on
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
And they don't have the ball.
And if they could score twice while they were up a man, that would be just, you know, what the doctor ordered in terms of getting back in the game.
Well, see, Milton Wright's going to just try to run around in circles and kill this penalty.
Yeah,
I thought the Huskies may try to double the ball.
Boy, what a great job. I can't get the number of that young man. Is that Levy? Running with the ball by himself? No, it looks like number 5.
That's Bender.
Liam Bender, yeah.
He's quick.
They can't catch him.
Nah, they're tired chasing him too. That's why I thought they might go with a double team. Sometimes it backfires though. So
Bender with the ball. I mean, they've been chasing him for what, 30 seconds?
yeah, you gotta do something here. You can't just let him run off a minute and a half.
And we're at 11-11. Now it's 10:44 is when the penalty will be over.
Yeah, this has been an excellent job for C. Milton Wright to kill this penalty. It's crushing for the Huskies not to come away with anything.
That's Shane Beagle, number 2, now playing the rabbit, if you will, being chased by the Patterson Mill Huskies. That's got to be frustrating. 10:44, and now, yeah, the penalty has been released.
They've
and
killed
so
it. Great job.
Wright has
Great
been
job
able
by the Mustangs.
to kill that penalty for 3 minutes. The 3-minute unreleasable penalty. They were up by 4 when it started. They're now up by 4. Pat, that could be part of this game that we'll remember. And if you're the Huskies, you're going to say, hey, that's our chance. We had a chance to get back in it.
Well, I agree. I mean, there's still time, but that was a golden opportunity.
Beagle with the ball.
Sometimes you'll see something like that. You'll see teams score 2 or 3 goals.
Shane Beagle, who scored 2. When they were up just by 5-4, it was Beagle who scored the 2 goals that made it 7-4. I'm talking about C. Milton Wright, who had just that 1-goal lead. So unsung hero if you're looking at Shane Beagle. That's Levy. Sam Levy, number 1, the captain, headed for McDaniel next year. One of the 13 seniors being honored here tonight on senior night.
Well, this has been a great possession for the Mustangs. Not only did they kill the penalty, they've managed to run off about 2.5 minutes and still going.
Cam Stepp has taken off his uniform top, but he has not left the sideline. He's probably leading the cheers over there, the young man who was kicked out of the game after that collision that occurred here near midfield.
Yeah, he was very involved, great team player. I noticed he was very involved in the huddle in between quarters.
Yeah. So I can't play, but I can support my teammates.
Nah, that's great leadership.
Again, one of your seniors. There's Levi. I call him Levi. It says Sam Levy. Sam, number 1, the senior captain, along with Cam Stepp, a captain, and Garrett DeBlasi, the 3 captains for C. Milton Wright. Patterson Mill looking for a win against C. Milton Wright. Last time they defeated C. Milton Wright was back in 2023. Flag is going to go down.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him for a hold on
Patterson Mill. Evan Verapasi with the call. Evan Verapatis, along with Jim Webb, the 2 officials tonight. Pat, it's been a difficult game to officiate because of all the enthusiasm on both sides.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's tough for 2 guys out there. These kids are athletic. They're up and down. The field, it's
Timeout here.
Yeah, they didn't
Verapatis
start that outside of the box. But it's tough for 2 guys to represent a game or to officiate a game like this.
Yeah. Late in the season, late in the regular season, the last regular season game of the year. Now they go into the playoffs. At least C. Milton Wright will have a chance if they can win tonight. They'll finish at 4-1 in the Hatem division, just one game behind Falston. End up being seeded 4th. There's the goal.
Right as time expired on the penalty too. That's the freshman. That's Mayer.
Who was that, Pat, again?
Bane Mayer.
Bane Mayer.
That was definitely through the 5-hole. Nice placement on the shot. Starts high and goes low.
So 19, Mayer with the goal, making it 12-7. That's the biggest lead of the night.
He's got a couple goals, I think a couple assists too.
What number is he, Pat? Oh, Bane Mayer, okay, number 24, thank you. Now, you never want to say a game is over, but that goal right there, and especially when Pattersonville unable to score when they had a man up with 3 minutes on an unreleasable penalty. That's after their captain, Cam Stepp, had been tossed out of the game.
Good save by the Mustang goalie there. It's hard to see those long pulse shots. They just come at a different angle. So good save there.
But Pat, think about it. Cam Stepp is thrown out of the game. You've got a 3-minute unreleasable penalty. You know, this is the time for Patterson-Mill to be able to cut into the lead. And C. Milton Wright not only withheld it, but expanded their lead here in just a moment after it was over.
Well, it was a tremendous job to first the defense to kill half of the 3-minute penalty, and then they got the ball on offense, and they were able to just run around. They got some little quick guys that are very quick, and they did an excellent job. And that might have taken the wind out of the Huskies.
Yeah.
It's hate to say desperation time at 6:55, but it's getting there.
Yeah, down by 5 goals.
They need to, something needs to happen.
Mustangs looking to finish off this senior night in front of the appreciative crowd. We were here for the senior festivities. It's very nice, Pat. The seniors walked on the field with their parents and their relatives, and their accolades were called out over the PA system. It's always a big night. There's another goal.
That's Bender.
Liam Bender with the goal.
Mustang goal number 5, Liam Bender, assisted by Sam Levi.
Yeah, Levi, nice assist for Levi to come from behind the goal, feed Bender up top. So nice play by both.
Yeah, I think I've been calling him Levy during the night. The name's being pronounced Levi. So, Sam, we apologize for that. But congratulations on just a great, great night. The senior leader showing why he is a captain. Sam Levi, senior, headed from McDaniel College, 25 goals coming in, 9 assists. So now a 6-goal lead. It appears to be academic at this point. Obviously no quit on either team. You know, you're out there on the field, you're going to play as hard as you can. But, Levi with the pass, open for the shot, and another goal.
Yeah.
Levi with the goal, with the pass, I should say.
Nice play by Levi in transition, and Mayer with another goal.
Mayer, assisted by number 1, Sam the Bull.
Nice move there by Mayer. Little hesitation step, similar to what we saw from Solkowski earlier in the game.
5:44.
Let the defender run by, and you know, it's impossible for the goalie to stop that one.
So from a 1-goal difference back late in the first half, we're now a 7-goal difference at 14-7. Again, I go back to that great job C. Milton Wright did at the end of the 3rd period, beginning of the 4th period, being able to kill that penalty, that 3-minute unreleasable penalty, playing without their captain, Cam Stepp.
Well, they're up 4-0, I believe, since that penalty was called.
Yeah. And maybe if you think about it, that could have inspired, you know, the Mustangs, seeing their senior leader. And you and I said, Pat, again, it was certainly a penalty. Was it a penalty that deserved to be, you know, tossed out of the game? Certainly the officials thought it was. Mustangs did not agree. Wild shot by Patterson Mill. Clock stopped at 5:04. Action in front of the crease. Good job by Rocco Ranieri. Sophomore goalie for C. Milton Wright. Scooped up, boy, what a great scoop that was. On the move. There's Levi.
Well, it was good defense a little earlier there on the transition. Number 20, Braden Sander. He's made a couple nice plays, takeaways. Like I said, he came into the game with 53 ground balls, sophomore. Been impressed with him tonight on the defensive end.
Absolutely, number 20. Defenders sometimes don't get the kind of publicity, or, but Sander has really played a great game. You're right. Garrett DeBlasi, of course, the face-off man, midfielder, also played well. Shane Beagle with 2 goals of his own. Again, we talk about those goals that Beagle got when the game was very close. It was 5-4, and Beagle scored the 6th goal and the 7th goal for C. Milton Wright. That was the key.
Good save.
Good save by Volker. Coming up on the 3 minutes, 30-second mark.
Oh, nice save at the other end.
That was a great save. Great save by Ranieri. Timeout on the field. Pat, again, if you go back and you look at the keys to this game, I look at the 2 goals by Beagle, Shane Beagle, that occurred back when the score was 5-4. Beagle scored at 3:20 and 2:01, made it 6-4 and then 7-4. That to me was the key to the game.
Yeah, there's been a couple spots where it looked like Patterson Mill was getting into the game.
Yeah, remember they were down 5-1. They scored 3 straight goals to make it 5-4.
Make it 5-4. Beagle scores the 2. They go up 7-4. C. Milton scores a couple coming out of the gate.
Yep.
Patterson in the second half. Patterson Mill scores a couple, and then C. Milton Wright stretches it back out.
Yeah.
So that's been, I think that was Hayward that scored the ones there early in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So it just every time Patterson Mill would get close,
yeah.
C. Milton Wright would turn it up another notch. And stretch it back out.
Cam Stepp, who made his 3 goals, he added the hat trick with 2:10 left in the first period. He scored those 3 goals that sponsored his team's 5-1 lead. And then, the Huskies got up off the mat and scored 3 goals of their own, made it 5-4, and we had a game. But C. Milton Wright has had the answer. Anytime they were pressed, they were able to come up with a big play.
Well, they've got a lot of seniors on the team.
Yeah, 13 of them that were honored here tonight.
And that helps in situations like that.
Yeah, when you're going out, this is your last hurrah. It's on TV. It's your senior night. You want to go out with a bang, and they certainly have done that. Inside 3 minutes left in the contest. Mustangs looking for their 6th win of the year. They'll go to 6-5 if they can last out the last 2 minutes 51. The big thing is they go to 4-1 in the Hatem division. Their only loss against North Hartford. There's a goal. Don't count the Huskies out totally.
Rex Reynolds, senior.
Yeah. Rex, who gets his 2nd goal of the game. That one coming at 2:43 left in the contest. Making it now 14-8. Reynolds, one of the seniors. headed for Harford Community College next year. 18 goals, 4 assists coming in.
Well, Harford Community College have done a really nice job up there. They're top division or junior college team in the country.
Yeah. Our buddy Frank Mazzanotti sort of started that program back in the 90s. Mustangs coming away with the ball. Flag goes down.
I think the goal's going to count.
Kind of a push-up celebration.
Number 5, Liam Bender, assisted by number 11, Gavin Wood.
Bender with the goal.
Yeah, the really nice play by Gavin Wood there.
Number 14.
Who's on the score?
1 minute. Please, 121.
Okay, so the goal's going to count. They're still going to have to serve the penalty. But nice play by Wood, though, in the unsettled to take it down behind the goal and turn and find Bender cutting to the goal.
Bender with now 3 goals. Hayward has 3 goals. Bender has 3, and Stepp has 3 for C. Milton Wright.
Yo, Tyler, the score's 15. Tell him.
Coming up on the 2-minute mark left in the game. Hope you've enjoyed this telecast. At our last week of the season here on TV. We have a softball game and a baseball game left, and once again, our 32nd year bringing you high school sports on TV. Mark Zerbis, our director, and the great crew here from Harford TV, as always, bringing you the shots and the action. Talking to Jim Lamb before the game, and he says he still has a DVD. Here's a shot wide. How far does that go back? From back in the day when he was coaching basketball at Edgewood. Talked to a guy the other night who, he was an older gentleman. He had his grandson with him, and he said, "Oh yeah, you televised our game." Now, how does that make you feel? He introduced his grandson to me.
All right, penalty released.
You saw in the background there that congratulations seniors. So at senior night celebration here, couldn't have gone any better for the C. Milton Wright Mustangs. Not only did they win against Patterson Mill, but they qualify now for the UCMAC playoffs coming up later in the week. Just about a minute left in the game, and now inside 1 minute.
Mustangs just trying to kill the game here.
Yeah, it's kind of that part of the game where like a basketball player is dribbling out the last few seconds. Give the Huskies credit. They're not, hey, they know they're going to lose the game, but they're not laying down. They're saying, we're not going to let you score one more goal. Inside 20. Now inside 10. And that is the final horn as the C. Milton Wright Mustangs have won the game here tonight to go to 6-5 on the year, 4-1 in the Hatem division. The loss for the Huskies, they go now to 6-7, still 2-2. Pat, it was an exciting game. It was a close game at 5-4, and you and I both said, now what happens early in the third period? That's going to determine who wins the game. The Mustangs came out, they took control of the game. Then when Cameron Stepp was thrown out of the game for a violation with a 3-minute penalty, that salting away of the penalty by the Mustangs, and they win the game going away.
Yeah, that was probably the game right there at 10-7, 3-minute non-releasable and ejected from the game. That was the Huskies' chance.
Yep.
And credit to C. Milton Wright's defense and the goalie. They held him off, killed 3 minutes, no goes at all, and that was probably the game right there. I was impressed with de Blasi. We talked about that at the beginning at the X. I don't know what the face-off stats were, but my guess is they were pretty dominant in his favor. Helped C. Milton Wright control the ball. And C. Milton Wright's got a lot of weapons. They got 3 or 4 quick, fast guys. They got the big man we talked about.
Yep.
They got the freshman, and then the sophomore too, Dawson Howard, stepped up in the second half. So they got a lot of guys that can put the ball in the goal.
And Sam Levi, we talked about him, the senior. I mean, you look for a key to this team. Yeah, he doesn't score all the goals necessarily, but he is a leader on the field.
I would agree with that.
Cam Stepp, Liam Bender, stars for the C. Milton Wright Mustangs. So that is our final score, a 15-8 win by C. Milton Wright, a win that will qualify them for the playoffs here on senior night. We hope you've enjoyed it. 3 goals by Stepp, 3 goals by Hayward, 3 goals by Bender. The Mustangs win it by a final score of 15-8. Pat Pollard, it's been a pleasure.
Well, on to next season, at least for lacrosse. I know you got some softball and baseball maybe coming up. But
great fun. Pat Pollard, thank you so much. Again, our final score 15-8, the win by the Mustangs. Good night, everyone.